Hi, everybody, Global Impact and Limitless family, and anyone that's joining us for this. I really want to welcome you to this episode where we are doing a special series on what is happening in the Ukraine. It's heartbreaking, it's saddening, it's maddening, it's so concerning, it's just shocking, unbelievable. I've got a lot of words to describe it. I'm almost speechless. And I think people around the world are quite speechless that this is happening, in our time and in our generation. And it's very personal for us here at Global Impact because we love the Ukraine. We've been working in the Ukraine for over 20 years, close to 25 years. I personally have been traveling there all of that time, almost every year, and have a network of people through the country that I absolutely love and adore. And have an orphanage that I founded along with my partner, Pastor Sasha, 10 years ago. And we have 50 children that are living in that home. And we are very, very concerned. And I'm really grateful that I have a couple on with me today who are so dear to my heart. They are incredible. They're like spiritual sons and daughters. They are my interpreters. When I travel in the Ukraine, I love them so very much. And I'm glad that they're safe right now. And I'm bringing them on to this time right now with us so that we can hear their story. You can hear directly. You've probably heard me tell some of their story in some of our other episodes or in my posts. But we want to hear directly from them what it's been like to have to escape Kiev and to go to the border and then be separated right now. So I want to welcome Alex and Kate, and sometimes I call Alex Sasha, so you might hear me call them both names, Alex or Sasha, and Kate. And I am not good at the last name, so I'll let them say their last name, and their little baby, Tim. So first, I'm just going to welcome Alex, or Sasha, as I like to call you. Welcome to this episode, and you're talking to us from a safe place, currently safe in the western. Are you the western part or the eastern part? You're in the western part.
Western, yeah.
Western part of Ukraine. So, Alex, welcome, and thank you for being with us.
Hello, everyone. My name is Alex, and our last name Wojciuk.
Thank you.
In Ukraine.
So, tell me a little bit of what happened, what it was like for you. I know the morning this all started. Tell us your story.
It was the morning, February 24, and we've been in the Kiev, capital of Ukraine, and we woke up because of bombing, because of just crazy noise, and it was just a little bit after 6 in the morning. It took us around half an hour to take some stuff for our little kid. He is 1 year old, actually. Mm-hmm. We took everything for him, and we took nothing for us, only laptops and some documents like passports. And we've been in a car out of Kiev, but Kiev is a huge city, so it took us around 3.5 hours to go out of city, and we've been lucky because later it was much more crazy.
Because there was a lot of traffic, right? A lot of traffic.
Yes.
So it took you 3.5 hours. What would it normally, in a normal day, would it take for you to get out? How many hours?
Maybe an hour.
An hour. So triple the time to get out, because many people were fleeing at that point.
Yes, that's right.
It sounds like you were some of the first people to go, right? Because as soon as you heard the bombings, you said at 6 o'clock in the morning, woke you up, you grabbed your things, and you were out the door by 7 a.m., I believe you had told me before?
Yeah, some 5 minutes after 7 a.m., right?
Yeah.
And
okay.
I believe we've been in a second wave, because first wave, they've been on the road from 6:30, something like this.
I see. Okay. So then what happened?
Then we've been driving to south of Ukraine, actually west-south. It was a village of Kate's. She was born there and her mom lived there. But on the road to there, we decided to go to Moldova and try to go across the border. As you know, maybe you know, Ukraine has awful roads in some parts. So we've been driving just literally on the fields.
Really?
And yes, and during night, daylight ended. So with a small baby who never slept in a car before, and we came to the border like it was some mountain. It was cold. It was night. It was mud on the road, and border guys, soldiers, told us that you are in the wrong place because it was part of Moldova, which is occupied by Russians also. So they told us turn around and go faster because nobody knows when they can attack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, it took us another maybe 2 or 2.5 hours to go to real border with Moldova.
Okay.
When we came, it was a square with the cars. I don't know, maybe 2 kilometers, something like this.
A line of
And
2 kilometers of cars waiting to get out.
Yeah, it's just approximately but lots of cars. And in few minutes after we came, we decided we are going to wait. And in a few minutes, government made an order that all men from 18 to 60 years old are not allowed to go across the border.
So you were actually waiting in line when that order was put in place. Is that correct?
Yes.
So you just kind of missed it by a few minutes or
few
something.
Hours, maybe.
Few hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
So then what did you do?
Then we decided to go back to Kate's village. Go back to the south. So it took us 3.5 more hours to go back, just on the same road. Yeah, and during our road we had some checkpoints, block posts with the soldiers who stopped the car, who checked all the papers like ID, who checked all the cars and asked where you go, from where you go, why you go there. Yeah, there's lots
Ukraine,
of them.
obviously, I'm just going to clarify for our viewers, but you're referring, of course, to Ukrainian soldiers, not Russian at this point.
Yes, Ukrainian
soldiers. So there's Ukrainian checkpoints that are all along the way, and they're checking everyone's papers.
Yes, yeah. Actually, there are lots of I don't know how it calls in English, but spies from Russia who make some signs on the ground for bombing and other things. So they check everyone.
I see. Yeah, it's part of the security of the country, right?
Yes.
Because in normal times, there would be these checkpoints are not there, right?
No.
Right. So
just free road.
So as soon as Russia started invading, then checkpoints were put up all through the country, which makes total sense. I live in the Philippines, and we have checkpoints here even in the time of peace. So I'm kind of used to going through those. But I've been in the Ukraine a lot, and never has there ever been a checkpoint when I was there. So this is just wartime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you went back to the village.
Yes. And it took us on the road for 19 hours.
Wow. And I know you said that it was just God's grace because you had no sleep during that time, correct?
Yes. And no food, no sleep.
Oh, no food either. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we just got food with us, but we did not want to eat, so we get some some part of piece of bread, and we had half with Kate for us. Mm-hmm. But it was stress for body, so crazy situation.
Let me welcome Kate now officially onto our call here and into this broadcast, our special episode. Kate, I love you so much, and I'm glad you're safe, but we really want to hear your story. So maybe you could continue on from there. You've gone back to the village, and then what happened?
Hi, everyone. My name is Kate. I'm Sasha's husband, Sasha's wife.
He's your husband. You're his wife, yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay.
So we were at the village during the night, and I can't even say that we slept, but we had a nap. I think that would be more right. And talking about eating, I think it was 11 a.m. next day when we just stood and said, oh, maybe we need to take something for it. Like we didn't have a wish, and actually not neither for food nor for water. So the day there was calm. I mean, like silent. If to compare to Kiev and some other cities where bombing started. So we were thinking to stay there, but still Sasha told me maybe me and baby, we will cross the border to go to be safe. I was thinking no. But closer to evening, my mom's village, she is on the border with, not with Moldova, but the territory which Russia occupies. In Moldova, it's I don't know what's that in English, honestly, sorry. But like, this is the territory of Moldova, which in 1991 was occupied by Russia. So there is also Russian military things there and tanks, yeah. Since 2014 are there. So it was 7 p.m. or around that, like that. And my mom got a call like, probably they will be bombing, so you need to go to some kind of shelter underground, something like that. So we were taking our clothes and baby and mom and neighbor of her and Sasha. We went to the, how's that, underground, or how do you name that?
Basement.
You know what I mean?
You went underground because the bombing, bomb shelter, basically underground. Probably like a cellar.
Basement.
A basement, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Basement. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We stand there for 2.5 hours. The baby was crying all the time, trying to fall asleep. It was pretty cold, I would say. I mean, like when you were breathing, you were seeing you breathing. And then it seems everything was calm. We got out, went to house, had our sleep. And in the morning we woke up and I understood that I don't want my baby to spend nights like that. It was scary, and I understand. Like that was the point for me to decide to live abroad, even though I thought I would never do that without my husband. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we decided to do this step. And Sasha started to look for who can help us to cross the border, who can pick up us, where we can stay at, to live, which place can we stop for some longer time, etc. So, will you continue, Sasha? Or should I?
Yeah.
Well, tell me, that must have been, that has to be one of the most heart-wrenching decisions to make. Because basically what you're saying, and I'm just going to reiterate some of this for our viewers too, is, after you'd spent the night in the basement, or not the whole night, but several hours in a very cold basement with your little over 1-year-old son, you had to make a choice between leaving your husband and separating your family or going to another country on your own with a baby for his protection. I mean, what a decision to have to make. But obviously you made the decision to go. So go ahead and continue from there. Once you made that decision, then what?
Then heart was broken.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it took a few hours, yes, Sasha found someone who can help us. And we decided to go. So we came back to the border where we have been the day before. Someone told that we can try that Sasha can cross the border with the baby, because the baby is little one, so maybe they allow him to go, and then I can also go. Mm-hmm. We tried that, but it didn't work out. And we went to another border nearby, and there were plenty of cars. It wasn't 2 kilometers like cars. It was, I think, how many, Sasha? I think it was much more. 4 maybe kilometers of cars. And moreover, maybe Sasha will tell how he tried to cross the border by walk with the baby, because there were plenty of people who were crossing the border by feet, like walking. Will you, Sasha?
Yeah. I just took a baby and some stuff of him. And soldier, actually it was even a lady soldier. She told, where you go? I told, over there. She asked, where is his mom? I told, she's not here. And everything what she told, we just go. And look for his mom. But because you're a man and you are not allowed to go, even with a baby. So, yeah.
Wow.
And no man can go like this.
Yes. Ukraine put the law in between 18 and 60 years old.
Yes.
Yeah, no male can cross, can leave
Yeah.
Ukraine. Yeah. Okay, so Kate, tell us what it was like to do that, to cross the border on your own.
I don't know such a word, neither in English nor in Ukrainian. I don't know. It was if to say, I mean, like, not from inner side, but outside, it didn't take us a long time. We just did that in, I think, 15 minutes, 10 minutes. Like, it was very fast. The people who were crossing a border by walk in the place where we have been to, just one family was before us, and we were just next. And we just gave our documents, and that's all. And we took our stuff. I mean, like, IDs, clothes, and some documents, and stroller. And we were just crossing. There is a little bridge on the river, and it's a border. So we were just crossing it, and that's all.
Wow. And once you were across, how did you feel?
Not the best way.
Yeah. Sorry. Thank you for sharing, though, your heart and your experience with us. I feel the tears inside of me. And I can't relate, having ever been in that situation, but I can only imagine what it was like for you, and even today, what it's like for you. So I know you have a story of getting to Romania, but we'll just skip over to that thank God there was people that you found that helped you, a network of people, the Foursquare Church. We really want to say thank you to them because they helped put connections together, correct, so that you could have someone that would meet you and then transport you to Romania. And you're staying, if I'm correct, with Salvation Army group. Is that correct?
No. I stayed at their house in Moldova for one night. And for right now, we stand here in the house of missionaries from USA who are from Foursquare Church.
Oh, Foursquare. Okay. All right. Was there something with Salvation Army early? Did you tell me there was?
People who accepted us in Moldova
was Salvation Army.
were from Salvation.
Wonderful. It's that's also amazing, like seeing how there's so many people in these countries, right? I've heard of just so many stories of people in Poland and, Romania, Moldova, helping the refugees of Ukraine. So thank God for that there's really, the world is trying to do what they can do. And is that your experience, Kate, that you're seeing people on the other side really sympathetic to the situation and helping?
Yeah. Absolutely, yes. We have been when we have been to Moldova, and before leaving by car Moldova to Romania, we needed to have a baby seat, a car seat. How's that for baby? So we went to the nearest shop to buy any cheap baby seat. So we did that, and even then, it was the third day of the war, but they already made a discount for people from Ukraine. And also, I don't know about how is it in Romania, because actually we didn't leave out too much. But in Moldova, people from Ukraine can show their passports and go to some street cafes, like who sell coffee and some kind of bread or whatever. If you show your passport, they will do it for you for free.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, and of course, everyone who takes the refugees, they drive by car. People, giving the buses and all this free of charge. And here in Romania, we have been for, I don't know how many days, like I don't count days now. I count them on the 8th day of the war. So people here are given plenty of whatever they can, food, clothes, like house to live, place to stay.
Yeah.
I know that many churches make the place in the churches for people to stay. Like, so yeah, they are very sympathetic and helping whatever they can.
It's amazing.
Like,
I mean, it's really,
yeah.
that's incredible. You know, I asked you a question earlier, and I like how you answered it. So maybe you could, you know, I may just ask you this question, a normal question, probably something you get asked all the time. I asked you just, how are you? And what was your reply to me?
We are in safety for now, and I can't say we are okay because, like, we are not okay.
Yeah.
But we are in safe. It's okay.
Oh, I think that sums it up very much. You know, how are you? Well, I'm safe. I'm not okay, but I'm safe, and that's very, you know, very real situation. Thank you for sharing that. Let me go back to you, Sasha, and you know, like, what's it like for you now being in Ukraine and having your wife and baby in Romania?
For me, it's easier because of them are in safety place, and yeah. But it was crazy. It was like, you know, from movies, and it felt like I'm in a Nazi camp. I stand after metal gates with just a huge amount of other men who could see like their relatives go across the border. Yeah, and I have never seen so many men's tears at the same time.
So many men what?
Tears.
Tears.
Yeah, all men just have been crying, yeah.
Oh. And I think especially Ukrainian men don't normally cry, do they?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Ukrainian men are quite tough and don't cry, and then you're
quite tough.
And
yes.
And here's men just crying because their families are crossing the border. Oh, it just breaks my heart.
Yes. Yeah, because men stayed here without knowing anything.
Yeah.
What is waiting in the future, and families go there without knowing anything for the future also.
Without knowing anything. I didn't ask you permission to share this, but is it okay? Because I think it was the next day after this, and the threat of nuclear war was just coming out, and you sent me a very poignant message. Is it okay that I share that? Do you know what I'm referring to?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, or maybe you want to share what because I was so like moved by your message. What did you send me the next day? What did you ask me to do? Do you remember? Or no? I'll share what I know you have.
Sorry, just hard to start it. What to share with you, like I asked you to care, to care for my wife with baby.
Yes.
Yes, if something happens with me here.
Yeah. Yeah. So even right now, when I think about it, I mean, to receive a message like that was, I've got tears in my eyes right now. Like, basically to the viewers, Sasha, I get a message the next morning when I believe I woke up to this message, and he said, there's threats of nuclear war, and I just asking you that if something happens to me, please promise me you'll take care of my wife and my baby. Oh, and of course I answered, absolutely. But the sobriety of that, the reality of it, just, I've got tears in my eyes right now. And I believe for your safety, and I believe that this is all going to resolve itself, and God has you, of course, covered. But yet on the other side, we have to think like that and plan for those sorts of things, And that on my end, that was a very sobering message to receive, knowing to understand even more what it's like for you guys there. Wow. But Sasha, tell me some more now as things have progressed, and you and I have been working together, which has been awesome to really help a lot of families and the orphanage. So let's kind of skip to that and talk about that. I am so thankful to our partners out there, to the Global Impact partners, and to those that are also maybe just new to us, but have heard that we're an organization that has worked in the Ukraine for many years and building an emergency fund for not only our orphanage, but also the network of people that we know. And and some of the stories already have been so moving. And thank God we've been able to work together to communicate with groups of people who are, most of them are on the run out of Kiev and in need of help. So Sasha, tell about the pastor and that group that was headed out, and about, when they crossed the bridge shortly after it was blown up, and then the firsthand story of you talking to him and what it was like for them and what happened.
Okay. First of all, let me tell you, just thank you. And to clear the situation, I wish you know that when Kate and baby crossed the border, I needed to do something. And I decided to go to my cousin to the west, close to the Romania border. And you need to realize that we have no gas on gas station. I drove my car without knowing where I'm going to stop. I just, and no food in the stores. Some stores do not get the cash anymore. And traffic all of Ukrainian roads. So, it's craziness happen. And some pastors, let
me just mention that, because we also, we were messaging back and forth, and you said, please pray because I don't have enough fuel to get to my destination. And the gas stations, there's no fuel in the gas stations. Yes. So I immediately sent out prayer requests to people, and we're believing that God would multiply your fuel, that you could get there. But, and God, the way he did provide for you is you actually found a gas station on the way that had fuel. So that was the miracle provision. Thank God for that.
Yes.
And you were able to...
Two of them. Yeah, two of them. And I came to my destination point with full gas in my car.
God multiplied it and gave you full. So praise God for that.
Yes,
that's awesome. God. Awesome. Many people were praying for you. Okay, so go ahead. The pastor.
Yeah, so there is a pastor in CLC Unity. He lived in a suburb of Kiev. Kiev is the capital of Ukraine, and it was crazy fight over there. And before fight, it was crazy bombing, just like regular houses, not military objects, but just houses. So they decided to move out of there, and we have few bridges from that Kiev suburbs to Kiev and move on. And just literally in a few minutes after they crossed the bridge, that bridges were bombed with the rockets from Russian Federation, and they were totally ruined.
Oh my goodness.
And this pastor told me it was just grace of God that they did not stuck over there in their house, and they could move to the west of Ukraine. And for you to realize how fast they took everything and jumped in a car, it was a pastor with his wife, 2 kids and neighbor. They had $15 in their pocket.
Yeah, 15.
So
that's all that they had.
15.
Yeah,
that's all they had with.
That's what they left with. That's all they had in their pocket when they left, or that's what they.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I knew that they were down to 15, but I thought they had spent some along the way. But you're saying that's all they had. They just had to grab their things and get in the car and go.
Yeah, they actually, they had a bit more, but they spent for the gas on some gas station, and pastor told they had a little bit food, but it was not enough even for a day for all of them. And they left with the $15 after this. So
and did they have cards with money, like an ATM card or a debit card for purchasing?
I have no idea. But actually, I guess they have cards because your help came to them, but seems like they had no money on these cards.
Yeah. So really, the reality was all around, they only had $15 left. They were in desperate need.
Yes. And almost all people here just run like this, and it's crazy. Another pastor, he's a pastor in Chernihiv city, and Chernihiv city is close to Belarus border, and it was bombing from the first day and for a whole week since now. And they've been in their apartment, pastor with his wife, with 2 kids, 2 daughters, and the wife's mom. And they've been out of windows. They slept just in a hole, and they had just everything what pastor could do, just praying.
Yeah.
Other people came to him and asked for help, for money, for food, because they had just nothing, literally nothing. And the city is so much ruined right now. But thanks God, this morning they could escape out of the city with other people, so they are on the road. Let's pray over them.
Yes. Like currently, right? As we record this right now,
yes,
they're on the road escaping.
Yes. But the road is very dangerous because all roads from Chernihiv city goes through the Kiev.
Yeah.
So I have no idea where they will go. And Chernihiv city is on the left bank of the Dnieper River, so they need to find some bridge. And if they can't go through the Kiev, they will need to drive another 200 kilometers down to another bridge. But most of bridges are ruined. So they need a miracle to go to the west of Ukraine.
Wow. Yes, I heard on the news that even Ukrainians, soldiers are blowing up some of the bridges going into Kiev to try to stop the Russian envoy to come in.
Yeah, that's right.
It's still it's happening, and yet it is still unbelievable that, and I mean, the people's lives and the beauty of your country and of the city. I just think about Kiev and some of the buildings that have been there. And of course, the people are more important than the buildings, but the devastation is horrendous, isn't it? It's just horrendous. And even you'd have to blow up your own bridges to be able to protect yourself from the enemy coming in.
Yes.
Wild.
And it's hard to believe.
Yeah.
Nowadays, when we have space tourism, right?
Yeah.
When people go to the space for fun, we have something. I think no one really expected it to happen. That people will be just dying from what people have died 80 years ago.
Yeah.
Nowadays, in the 20th century, where everything just seems to be like so high tech, as we say, people are dying what they would like. What?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. Okay, actually, I want to ask you a little bit more about that, because what was, like, before all this happened, before there was actual attack, Russia kept saying they were going to do it, but what was the mood of the people or the thought, like, did you guys really, I know you guys even prepared a little bit, right, that if something would happen, and we even discussed it, but did people really think that it would come to this? Did you? Maybe let me make it personal. What did you think coming up to this?
Well, at the end happened what we were scared most of all.
Yeah.
We started to hear this in January, that there should be some war, or we packed our luggage for, I think, 4 times. We thought we would leave tomorrow. We wanted to go to the village, then to the west part. Then we, in the morning or at the same evening, we were saying, oh no, it's okay. There is no tent outside, so it's okay. We are in safety. And even the night before all this started, in the evening, we were packaging our luggage to go to the west part of Ukraine, to Lviv. Yeah, and then we were sitting, and that is one more story to tell, but not about this. So we unpacked our things and decided that on weekends we will surely go to my mom's village to be in safety and not to worry, because all the time we heard that the war will be, no be.
Yeah, back and forth.
We decided, just to stay calm and not in panic.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, I don't know how to say. Some people, we prepared our documents and some money what we had in January, like just in case.
Right.
Actually, we used them. So first of all, we did go and made the passport for baby to go abroad, also just in case. And actually, it's helped a lot, because people who are crossing border without child international passport, it takes much longer time to cross the border, because they are making some papers.
Sure.
Refugees, and we just have a stamp in our passports, and that's all. That's why it took us very little time to go. And people, I would say that in January, the majority was just saying they are solving their financial items, like problems. No one, I think like there was someone who were packaging some kind of emergency luggage package. How is that right? And we were one of them. But
so can I ask, was it kind of like, we're going to do this, but we're going to prepare for a worst case scenario, but not really believing, like really thinking it probably wouldn't happen? Is that how it was? Or
yeah.
It
was like we decided just to put the documents. That was we did, and we bought some food for the baby, first of all, which can be kept for a few days, like puree or something like that, and few.
But in your mind, like, you prepared, but I guess that's what I'm asking, like, but not really believing it would really happen.
Yes,
and here we are, it happened.
As like, in case anything happens, we will have these and some food. Yeah, we kept in our car bottles of water, just in case.
Just in case. Well, you know what? Thank God that you did that. Thank God that you were prepared in this case. So that's awesome.
Yes, but plenty of people, I would say the majority, till the very end. And even my sister, when everything started in the morning, we were leaving the Kiev, and she was calling me and saying, like, we are not leaving because we think everything will calm down.
Yeah.
Maybe we will go. And just a few hours when they started to bomb in Kiev again, then my sister calls me, we are leaving by. That's what I'm just checking with you, because like that's the feel that I got from, it's how I felt. I mean, but I'm not there in the country, but I got that feel from a lot of people. It was like, okay, we know that the threat is there. We know that Russia's saying this, but is it really going to happen? And they've been on our border for how many years, and there's been fights, and yet here we are in this scenario. So anyway, I guess it's just all part of it being this so unbelievable and where it's escalating to. Let's go back to Sasha. So there's a group of pastors and leaders and communities and churches all through the Ukraine that were able to help because of financial donations. So I just want to say, also just take this moment, thank you to the people that are donating to Global Impact, and we are doing our best to get that money and get the needs met to directly to the people that are in need. And thank God we've been able to do that so far, and we will continue doing that. We'll start winding up this conversation soon, but let's end with talking about our precious orphanage. We have Living Pearl that has 50 children in it, and how many, like 20 some staff, a whole church community that we just love so very much. And again, like when I woke up one morning, they'd been safe up to, it was a few days into this. There hadn't been anything happening in their area. And I woke up one morning to text from Pastor Sasha there, and the children had to go into the bomb shelter, makeshift bomb shelter in the home, because Russian fighter jets had been blown up, shot down from the sky just nearby. And I'll tell you what, that was also like another very sobering moment for me, because the war came very close to them. Now, thank God they've been safe ever since. There are sirens going off in the city next to them, so they also have to go to the hallway. As you were mentioning earlier, Sasha, that's what people do. When the sirens go off in the cities, alerting them of possible attack, they have to get away from the windows. That's a dangerous place in the home or the apartment. So they go into the bathrooms, they go into the hallway where there's no windows. And that's exactly what our children are doing in Living Pearl. I have pictures of them sleeping in the hallway and just hanging out and, reading a book and on their phone and for hours and hours on end. But Sasha, can you, from talking with Pastor Sasha there, can you give some more insight of what it's like for Living Pearl, what they're going through, maybe what the children are feeling and how the staff are handling it? That's been a question people have asked me is, what's it like for the children? I mean, of course we know that they'd be scared and confused. Oh, wait, I just have to say hello to Timmy. Oh, I don't know if you call him Timmy, but hi, Tim. Here's the little baby, their baby. He's 1 year and 4 months old. Is that right? Yes, almost.
Aw, and look at how precious he is. I've never met him in person yet because I haven't been able to travel to the Ukraine in over 2 years because of pandemic. And I was actually looking forward to going this year, finally. And now all of this. So still praying that I'll be able to visit, that this will all be resolved and I'll be able to come. Okay, so back, Sasha, can you just tell us what you can ascertain that's happening there at Living Pearl from the conversations that you've had with them there?
Yes, of course, Pastor tells that kids are scared a lot, and actually, Pastor Sasha makes a huge job over there as a leader.
Yes.
And as a pastor, he prays for everyone, and they grouped all together, all staff who work with orphanage. They are over there together. They try to calm kids. They try to entertain kids. Just play some games with them, read the Bible together, pray together, believe in the best. And meanwhile, Pastor Sasha with other leaders, men, each single day they go to the closest city, Kremenchuk, around 30 kilometers, through many checkpoints, and try to get some cash in bank because it's a huge problem over here. And Kremenchuk is a place where fighter jets from Russian Federation attack. So they're risking by their lives to keep kids with the food, with everything what they need.
Wow.
And yeah, kids are so much tired already because they can't sleep normally in their beds. Each night they go to bomb shelter just a few times in the night. They are woken up, just go there with their with their pillows and other stuff, and they just sleep over there on the floor. So yeah, it's a hard time, and but thanks God, he protects Living Pearl.
Yes. Well, it's just hard to imagine what's happening there, but I am imagining it,
Yes.
and it breaks my heart. So, all right. Well, Sasha and Kate, I think Kate is nursing the baby right now, so she turned off her video. I really want to thank you both for being with us today, sharing your story and your bravery, your courage, your faith, your fortitude. You know, you are an amazing couple, and many people around the world, including me. I love you the most, though. If we're competing. Just joking, but I've got the biggest love for you. But many people around the world love you and are praying for you. And I just want to say, thank you for being on. Sasha, do you have any last words, things that you'd like to say to people?
Thank you a lot for your love. Thank you a lot for your donations. You saved so many lives of people, of pastors, and pastors just give this money to people to buy food, to buy pillows, to buy everything pills and so on. And thank you a lot for your prayers. Thank you that all of us are brothers and sisters in Christ, and we are a huge family who supports one another. Yeah. Thank you a lot for this.
Yeah. Okay, everybody. I'm grateful that you are on with us. Keep following our episodes. If we may do more of these, special on the Ukraine. Definitely, we're posting all the time on our Facebook, my personal Facebook and the Global Impact Facebook. So stay in touch with us. If you do want to give donations, it's a way that we can truly help the Ukrainian people right now. And you can also just look in our posts and on our website for ways to give. And I know there's many other organizations out there as well that are doing a fabulous job. So thank you to everybody for your prayers, your support, your love, your donations. And we pray for Ukraine. We pray God's protection over the people, over the military, the world leaders right now to make good and strong decisions that this can go in the right direction. So thank you again, Sasha and Kate, and thank you to all of our viewers. God bless you all.